Champions are not born, they're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now.
Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. We are fast approaching 80,000 subs, which for me is incredible. I never ever thought I'd get close to this number. Remember when I started this channel, when I was getting like 100 views, 200 views, mic was shit, camera was shit. So the idea of being close to 80,000 is dreamland. So if you are one of those quote unquote smaller channels and you're getting those kind of early numbers, just keep pushing through, like a lot of perseverance, keep putting out the content and it will grow. It will grow. That being said, the target was never 80,000. The target has been and always will be 100,000 subs. I need that plaque, people. I need that YouTube plaque. So if you do watch this channel and you don't subscribe, because I do that sometimes, I watch content and I don't subscribe, please do subscribe. It really helps because the target before the end of the year, so I don't know, it's a bit tricky, but the target is 100,000 subs. Thank you to all the subscribers, the old school ones, the new ones, everyone. But yeah, if you do watch this channel and you don't subscribe, please subscribe. All right, let's have a look and see what there is to talk about today. Let's start here. Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber, says boxing is a survival business, not a sport. Yeah, I get what he means, especially if he's talking about boxing as a whole. So the business side of it, right? The problems with managers, the problems with promoters, the problems with broadcasters. If he's talking about everything, then yeah, it's a survival business. It really is. If he's talking about just in the ring, I guess he's right there as well, especially the way he fights. Like, he is very much kill or be killed. That's his thing, isn't it? And he's always spoken about, I want a body in the ring. He's always spoken about the dangers of fighting as well now, especially recently. In the last few years, he's really spoken about that. So yeah, look, I guess it is a survival business. And you know what, sometimes he's right about the last bit as well, it not being a sport. There are sometimes when I'm watching it, I'm like, how is this even allowed? Sometimes you're watching some fighters and it is like art. But some, it's so brutal. Like, what fight was I watching recently? I was like, oh my God, this is just punishment. Callum Smith-Boatsi. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, how are these guys going to walk tomorrow? Honestly, it was brutal. And then you see that knockouts like Fabio Wardley, Fraser Clark. Try telling someone it's a sport when you see that. But look, it's a sport that we love. And I think as fans, we understand the dangers. Fighters understand the dangers. And I guess we all are a crazy bunch, right? Because we love seeing men and women get it on. That's kind of what it is, isn't it? Pause. All right, win or lose, September 13th might be Terence Crawford's last fight. Yeah, that could be true. Crawford's 38. Crawford fights once a year. And maybe he'll make enough money in this fight where he thinks, fuck it, right? Unless there's a rematch if he wins. Because if he, say he wins and there's no rematch clause, who's he going to fight? I mean, what's he going to fight? Hamza Shiraz, Edgar Berlanga winner, Chris Eubank Jr. There's no one really at 160. Alam Canali's not a sexy fight. Carlos Adames is not a sexy fight. And when I say sexy, I mean they don't bring that. I mean big numbers. Because whatever he's getting for Canelo, he's going to kind of not want to go too far down that number again, right? Especially at his age. I feel like they ramped up the promotion for this big time in the last 2 weeks. Obviously, there was a presser in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where finally they went at each other a little bit, which was nice to see. And then they done a presser in New York at that Fanatics, is that what it's called, event, which I think is so smart because all of a sudden you have just the sporting world there and almost by default, everyone's going to kind of make a play to have a look at what's going on stage. So I think that was really good. Bringing Max Kellerman is a great idea. People love Max, so that makes sense. Dana White, people like Dana White, so that makes sense. But that little sit down they did, and I think this was about a month, 2 months ago, where they've got Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal hosting, Dana, Canelo and Crawford. That seems to be the one that's doing the rounds at the moment, although it was some time ago. And I think, you know, I did say that there is no antagonist in this. It's two guys that respect each other. I might be wrong. because Canelo seems to have been taking on that role as the antagonist. He doesn't mind it, playing the role as the villain, whereas Crawford almost seems to be playing the role as the humble boxer. That's what it comes across to from my standpoint. I could be wrong, but I did chuckle. In fact, I really laughed when Canelo was like, he hasn't fought anyone elite, and Crawford said Victor Postal. And this isn't me dissing Victor Postal, because there was a time when nobody wanted to fight Victor Postal. Like when Victor Postal smashed through Lucas Matisse, who no one could really smash through, nobody wanted Victor Postal. No one. I'm old enough to remember that time. I remember he wanted Danny Garcia. Danny didn't want any of it. So there was a time when Victor Postal was an elite 140 pounder. But obviously, if you're Canelo and you look at Canelo's CV, that's not elite for Canelo. So the way Canelo reacted when Terence said it was quite funny. And then he said Ricky Burns, who looks the freeweight world champion. But again, that doesn't cross over, I guess, to America, right? Not many Americans will know who Ricky Burns is. We do, right? He's one of Scotland's greatest ever fighters, but they wouldn't. So again, Canelo, Golovkin's on the resume. Floyd, Bivol, do you know what I mean? Danny Jacobs, Kovalev. So when he hears those names, he's like, what? Like, we're in two different leagues here. We're operating in two different leagues. I'm surprised that Terence didn't immediately say Errol. But then Terence has put down Errol in a couple of podcasts, basically saying he wasn't that good. I'm surprised he didn't say Sean Porter. But yeah, it was interesting, because that's the one thing that people have said about Terence Crawford. And I guess it kind of is true, and it's not Terence's fault, but like the resume could be quite thin in terms of elite level fighters. Like we're talking just A grade or A minus fighters, whereas Canelo's resume is full of them. So yeah, it was funny to see that. But look, I mean, I think the promotion for it is really good. I think getting Tom Brady involved is really good. Obviously, Tom Brady, I don't know too much about NFL, but considered definitely the greatest quarterback of all time, and I guess maybe because of that, the greatest NFL player of all time, American football player of all time. You know what's interesting? As much as Tom Brady's a massive name, I went on his Instagram. Sorry. He's got like 17 million followers. I know it's a bit like, you probably sound so, but because he is Tom Brady, maybe I'm wrong. I expected it to be like 200 million, 300 million. I mean, we're talking Tom Brady here. I mean, this is the biggest sport in America, right? This is America's sport. And the greatest participant of that sport's got 17 million Instagram followers. When you look at sort of our sport, if you like, football, Ronaldo's got like 670 million. Like Messi, 500. So the greatest of our sport, look at me separating America and the UK here, have like hundreds of millions. And the greatest of their greatest sport, 17, which was interesting. Anyway, look, I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be good. All of a sudden, I've had a change of mind and a change of heart. Like I was leaning Crawford. I was very much, I think Crawford is going to do this because it's Crawford. He's unbeaten, right? He doesn't know how to lose. And even when he's struggling in fights, he just finds a way. But now I'm thinking Canelo has been waiting for this. He's been waiting for something. Canelo's been just almost in the last few fights, just taking it easy, if I'm honest with you. Like he's been so far. In fact, I was at the Munguia fight. I did the Munguia fight. And he was holding Munguia up in that fight. Like when Canelo dropped him, Canelo could have finished that fight. And he's literally just playing around with him. Belanga kind of pushed him in the last round. Obviously, William Skull, nothing. But I think when we've seen Canelo sort of in danger, he does step it up. I know a lot of you are going to say, well, 1 second, Bivol's just Bivol, dude. Bivol's just Bivol. Like we saw Caleb Plant try and antagonize him, and we saw what happened there. So I feel like he's been waiting for a real opponent, and he gets it September 13th. And I think he might just be a bit too much for Crawford. He might just be a bit too much. He is a bit flat-footed, but we don't know how Crawford's going to look as well. Being a lot heavier. Like Crawford's considerably heavier than he's ever fought. Like considerably. And it was only one fight at 154. So Crawford's jumping nearly 20 pounds here. That's a lot of weight to put on. Like even you go and watch Jamel Charlo versus Canelo, where Jamal went up from 154 to 168. And Jamal Charlo, go and watch his fights at 154. He's a mover. He's a mover. Yes, he can stop and dig, but he likes to move. Against Canelo, the legs weren't moving. It's simple. I don't know if the magnitude of the event got to him, or it was the extra weight. I don't know, but there was a reason. And even when we talk of magnitude of events, Crawford's only had one. That was Spence. Like, in terms of a real monster, Spence. That was it. I mean, the Victor Postal fight that Crawford mentioned, I remember that. It was so bad on pay-per-view. I think it done like 47,000 buys, 8,000 in the arena. He's only had one. Canelo's done this walk so many times. That counts for something. It does. It 100% counts for something. The experience of a big-time event is literally nothing for Canelo anymore. Nothing. Whereas for Crawford, it is something. So yeah, I've swung back to Canelo ever so slightly. 55-45 Canelo now. But again, I could change my mind once fight week comes up. There is another presser, isn't there? I don't know where and when that one is, but there's another presser. But yeah, interesting to see Canelo take the lead, if you like, in these pressers. All right, what else very quickly? I saw something crazy the other day. You guys have probably seen it as well. And I think it's crazy. Some might say it's not. It is. Dave Allen, Joseph Parker. That isn't crazy to you? It's a bit crazy to me. Bear in mind, Joseph Parker's last 3 fights have been Zhili Zhang, Wilder, and Bukoli. That's his last 3 fights. So Dave Allen doesn't sound crazy in that run. Like, honestly, I mean, we did a video the other day talking about Joseph Parker versus Chisora, and a lot of you shit on that. You're like, oh, that's rubbish. This is a step down from that. I mean, Dave Allen's coming off a great win, yes. But I was thinking Dave Allen versus Adelaide. Obviously now Adelaide's got Hergovich. That ain't happening. Or Dave Allen versus Jimmy TKV. Like, the simple answer for this Joseph Parker conundrum, and it's so obvious, I don't understand what's going on here, is Agit Kabayel. It's right there. It's literally right there. Number 1 is fighting number 2 right now. Number 3 hasn't got an opponent. Number 4 hasn't got an opponent. Surely you just go 3 versus 4. Like, what is the issue here? 3 versus 4, and guess what? They fight the winner of 1 versus 2. It's 2 semi-finals. Like, honestly, all this moving around they're doing, it's just weird. Like, Chisora versus Parker, Parker versus Dave Allen. No, Kabayel, bring him in. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Liam Parrow is fighting tomorrow against Jonathan Navarro. Obviously, that's Liam Parrow's first fight since the Richardson-Hitchens defeat. Good to see Liam Parrow back. Great fighter, Liam Parrow. Really, really good fighter. All right, I think... what's this? Let's end on this one very quickly. Hopefully you guys are still with me. Eddie Hearn, Matchroom could do some sensational things with Ben Whittaker. I would be astounded if Ben Whittaker doesn't sign with Matchroom. I'd be astounded. I almost feel like it's going to happen. I really do. Don't tell me these guys didn't speak to each other when Matchroom were in Japan. So Eddie was in Japan for that Sugar Nunes fight, because I know Ben Whittaker was there as well. Ben Whittaker was at that fight. Don't tell me they didn't have a little coffee and talk about things. I don't know how long Ben's got with with Boxer, but obviously this Sky situation doesn't help. Ben's coming off a really good win against Liam Cameron. He's going to want to get back to it. Where's he fighting? I mean, Boxer, Ben Shalom hasn't mentioned what platform they're going to be on right now. So you've got some really hot prospects, good fighters, almost just, okay, what's happening, Ben? So I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Whittaker does go to Matchroom. And you know what Eddie will do. Eddie will sell him as the best light heavyweight on planet Earth. But that'll be an interesting link-up. All right, guys, girls, we are done.
Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now.